I went blind from a rare eye disease just before my freshman year in high school. I hated blindness. It was like a storm that was descending upon me with such force, such viciousness. I thought I was going to be crushed by it. Being led from class to class, being led to the bathroom. I remember sitting in the cafeteria, listening to all the excitement and laughter and jokes and food fights passing me by that I wanted to be a part of, and looking at my life through a rearview mirror, all the things I'd lost, all the things I could do before, the faces of people that were important to me, like my mother, my father, my brothers. And even worse than losing my sight was my fear that I would be swept to the sidelines, that I would be forgotten, that my life would be meaningless. That was terrifying. A life lived for nothing. And it was a few months after that that I got this newsletter in Braille of a group taking blind kids rock climbing for the first time. And I ran my hand up the wall of my room, and I thought, who would be crazy enough to take a blind kid rock climbing? So I signed up. And I learned through trial and error that I could use my hands and my feet as my eyes, and I could scan my hand across the face. And just before I was ready to lose strength in my forearms and fingers, and I felt like I had to fall, I'd find just enough, a little crack or pocket, to keep me stuck to the face a few seconds longer so I could scan my other hand across the face. It was a long, slow, tedious process of scanning and reaching up. I left a lot of blood, I left a lot of skin on the face that first time. But I got to the top, and it was so exciting, it was so exhilarating, so vibrant. It was almost like a rebirth. But as vibrant as it was, I will say it was also scary. And there's one thing that hasn't changed much since that very first time I went rock climbing 25 years ago. And that's the reach. I don't care if you're blind or not. I think in a way, we're all reaching into darkness. We're predicting, we're calculating, we're hoping, we're praying. All our metrics and algorithms and charts and graphs, they lead us to believe that we're going to find what we're looking for, but we understand there is no guarantee. It's that moment when we've reached out, we've committed to the reach, and we know it's almost impossible to turn back. I think there's a lot of fear that goes with that, the fear of flopping on our face, of making a big mistake that affects the team, the fear that we're not as good at something as we want it to be, or the fear as we get older that we've climbed as high as we can go in our lives. There's just nowhere else to go but down. I think those fears, they conspire against us and they paralyze us. But I think there is a big difference between many people and pioneers, because pioneers understand that life is an ongoing, never-ending process of reaching out into the darkness when we don't know exactly what we'll find. We're constantly reaching towards immense possibilities. They're always unseen, yet they are sensed, while so many others allow that darkness to paralyze them.